Hey, emotion party people. Happy evening here on the East Coast, maybe morning out in Europe, maybe afternoon in the West Coast. I'm going to give a few moments here, see who is in the group. It's been kind of quiet in here lately, so I thought I'd come in live. I dropped a few videos on you guys last week all about really embodying your purpose and really allowing that music that's in you, whatever your muse is. And you know, when I say music, that's kind of like finger quotes music. Whatever your song to sing is, whatever your inner vibe is, your inner essence, your thing that has to come out, and that you're kind of like dying a little bit on the inside if it doesn't. So I wanted to kind of follow up on that because it is super, super, super important to me that we really, really change the game with what it means to let your you out, what it means to be fully present, to be fully yourself, to be fully aligned and alive and out there and doing your thing. So, you know, a lot of us have experienced oppression, suppression, anxiety, hatred, people coming down on you the more you try to be like you. I know I have experienced all of those and more, and I'm sure you guys have too. And I think culturally we have just really created this messed up expectation system that does not allow us to just be ourselves with ease. And here's the thing, I really also believe that this world is on a big shift, that there is no time like right now, that we really, really, really need new paradigms in almost every aspect of living on this planet. And the one I really am super passionate about is just the paradigm of being in your body, the paradigm of being embodied, the paradigm of being you with ease. So I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about presence and impact. So if you guys jump in live, comment below, tell me hey and where you're watching from. And if you guys are watching the replay, thank you so much. Feel free to post questions. I will be popping back to this video definitely. It's a super important topic to me, and I want to make sure we really create a conscious conversation around it and change the game together, because this is co-creation. This is you and I. This is a movement. So without further ado, presence and impact. So let me, before I dive into my material, recommend a book to you guys. One of my kind of academic superheroes who is spreading the word about this kind of thing is Amy Cuddy. You may have seen her TED Talk on body language. She's the power pose woman. And in that TED Talk, she talked about how our body can literally influence our biochemistry and change how we feel and change how empowered we are. So that's the kind of scientific seed I'm talking about. So if you guys know me and my work, you know, several years ago I did a master's thesis called Embodied Movement, and that work was kind of the qualitative version of what Amy Cuddy does quantitatively. So she does it in the lab, she does saliva hormone tests, and I studied stories, my own and other people's, and those two bodies of work correlate. So if you want a little bit of the kind of more scientific aspect of what I'm talking about here, go to Amy Cuddy. She's a great resource. And most recently, at the end of 2015, she published another book called Presence. And that is a wonderful, wonderful book. I listened to it on audiobook, on Audible. Really, really phenomenal work. So I would love to hear from you guys. I don't see anybody here with me right now. If you are here, say hey. But even later, what's your definition of presence? What does presence mean to you? Some other questions to kind of stem off of that. Do you feel during most of your waking hours like you are present? Do you feel like you're not present? Or another question to stem off of that. When do you feel more present? And when do you feel less present? I know for me, this is something I have worked on for a long time. I felt like there were all these veils keeping me from really feeling like myself and expressing my message to not only the world, but even to those close by, close around me. I really did not feel present. for me, at that point, my yoga practice did it. That was one of the first places I really found presence. And also a long time ago in writing and poetry and kind of rambling musings on the page. I felt more present there. And to me, presence is about truth. It's about truth and alignment. When you are aligned, yourself, all the layers of your being, you've probably heard me talk before about your physical, your emotional, and your energetic bodies. When those are aligned, an energy of truth has access to flow. So you can more live your truth when you are aligned. And when that happens, I think the outcome of that is presence. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and your musings on what presence is. How does that relate to or influence impact? Now, the more present you are, the more people are going to resonate with that. It's like tuning forks. So you guys know the musical tuning forks, right? You have, if you strike one tuning fork and it helps the other one resonate, and then they're both vibing, right? Same thing with presence. If there's a resonance over here, the resonance of presence, the other people on that frequency, the other tuning forks will resonate, will activate, will vibrate with you. So when that comes to human beings, if you guys heard one of my videos last week, I talked about vibration, right? Our human bodies, it's matter, but as we remember from high school physics, all matter is energy. It's just either more or less dense. And energy is always in motion, right? Motion, energy in motion. And that motion is vibration. So we are just trillions of vibrating particles, just really dense. And those particles vibrate at different frequencies, which gives them different functions. So when we are low energy, when we are suppressed or oppressed or in anxiety, when we are in modes of being that feel off to us, that's a funky frequency and that's less present. So that's harder to get a resonance, okay? So when we are more tuned in, when we are more turned on, when we are more aligned with our truth, that frequency hits and we get that impact. So that tuned in, turned on, that has to do with literally how we are vibing. You know, people say like, oh, good vibes, you know, high vibes. You know, I think that there's kind of more kind of woo-woo ways of interpreting that. I really think about literally how are we functioning, and that really has some scientific impact to it. So how am I going to wrap this all together for you? I'm going to be writing and probably doing a little more video on this because it is so important. But let's wrap it back to that initial concept that I was talking about of embodying your purpose, and whatever your inner essence is, your musing, your music within you, your creativity, your purpose work, your mission, your badass business. If the energy of that is squashed in your body, if it cannot get out because there is fear, because there are old self-sabotaging patterns in your body, if there is some scara, I did a video on that last week, energetic scars, if there's tangles in your system, if you just can't breathe with it, we all miss out. You miss out on living your authentic self. We all miss out on the impact we get to get by hearing your song, by feeling your good vibes. So this presence is not only helpful for you to, one, feel better, feel more like yourself, live your truth, two, create more health in your body. Literally, your body, when it's in stress, when it's in strain, when it can't vibe and flow, that's when you get disease. That's when you get tension. That's when you get pain. That's when you get depression, right? So you impact your own health, and you impact this kind of greater web, right? I think we are all living in this unified matrix of beingness on this planet. And the more any of us lift up and lift up and lift up and live our truth and live our truth and live our truth, the more we kind of culturally set that as the new norm. So like I said again in the beginning, this embodying our purpose, this living out our true essence has to do with all of us individually, and it has to do with this kind of broader global impact of changing the paradigm of beingness, of our health, of our mindset, and of how we share our information. So will you join me? Will you help to improve how we express, how we live our truth? I have seen too many people, creative geniuses, who fall to disease, who fall to self-sabotaging habits, who fall to ways of living that deplete their health, their vital life force energy, their life, right? Sometimes it takes their lives. And I have seen way too many people try to take that step to come out as whoever they are, to sing their message to the world, and it just gets squashed. And there's violence, and there's pain, and there's horrible words or feelings slung at them. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't take it anymore. So I have taken it upon myself to do my part, to live my truth, to bringing together the pieces of my body of work with physical fitness, with mindful movement practices, with meditation and awareness, among some other tools and tricks in there, to help you guys pull this together, literally fueled by your body. Because our minds will spin, our monkey minds will just jump from thought to thought, or they'll just loop on repeat. And there's a lot of kind of psychological ways to approach this. But some of us are kinesthetic. Some of us really need to rewire the nervous system to kind of reshape the form that our own energy vibrates through, so that we can have the spaciousness to be embodied, to be present, to have that impact, what we are meant to do here now. So, a couple of things before I close up this video. If you have questions, so let's go back. I want to hear your take on presence. I want to hear any of your questions on my take on presence. I want to hear if you feel stuck in your body, if you have something in you that needs to come out, and it might be something very personal to you, and it might be something that needs to be a message to the world. Our bodies react the same way. Where do you feel that in your body? How do you know? What are the visceral sensations? Do you always get a lump in your throat? Like for me, when I start getting stuck, I always get a sore throat. That's kind of my first symptom, so to speak. And I think I have issues with that voicing my truth. So how do you feel it? How do you know something is off in your body? And then what are you willing to do about it? What are you willing to shift and change? How are you willing to help uplift your own presence, and therefore the presence of everybody? And then lastly, if some of this resonates for you and you are curious about my support, I do have space for 4 clients right now in this particular body of work. I have a couple different timelines that are options depending on what's going on with your life. Either tag me in the comment or private message me, and maybe tag me and let me know that you did if we're not actually friends, so I know to get the message, and I will share some more details with you, or we can chat. All right, loves. It's been a great little sharing with you guys. Sorry nobody caught this live. I know I didn't give you guys much warning or heads up. I had my inner song was singing, and I had to share this. All right, you guys, have a great night. Bye.